Subscribe now. EU Debates.
Donc, Mélanie Joly, je suis ministre des Affaires étrangères du Canada. Mélanie Joly, I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Canada. It is a pleasure to be with my good friend, Josep Borrell. Today, we have had many conversations over the past weeks because, of course, we've been united in fighting Russia and making sure that we isolate politically, diplomatically, and economically Russia. We have had strong cooperation when it comes to sanctions, and of course, Canada is one of the most European countries in the world while being fiercely North American, and so I look forward to our conversations about energy and food security, talking a lot about democratic resilience and disinformation, and also how can we continue to partner on many other issues that are of economic nature.
Thank you, Melanie. It's a great pleasure to have this meeting today with Canada. Canada is one of the most reliable partners. We have an association agreement that covers almost everything. Mm-hmm. Canada is pushing us a lot in order to advance on the sanctions and to present a united front against the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We are also very much worried about the consequences of this war all around the world. We are going to face a deep economic crisis because of the price increases on electricity and food, and we have to unite our forces in order to explain to the world that it's not because of our sanctions, it's because of the war itself. Russia is blocking the Ukrainian wheat from going out Ukraine and reaching the markets. We will discuss about it, and I am sure that we will continue reinforcing our already strong unity and association.
Indeed.
High Representative, can you give us your view on Hungary's position right now with regard to your next package of sanctions? Will you be able to win Hungary over?
I would like to stress the importance of the presence of Canada here. And we will discuss the sanctions that Canada and the European Union is taking. Melanie, we are 27, and I need to convince the 27. Among them, there are some ones who has more problems than others. It is an objective situation that some member states face more difficulties because they are more dependent, because they are landlocked, because they don't have the possibility of receiving directly tankers. They only have oil through pipelines and coming from Russia. So certainly we will discuss about it, and we'll do our best in order to deblock the situation. Mm-hmm. I cannot ensure that this is going to happen because the positions are quite strong. But I think that if we understand the particular situations of some member states, and all of us make an effort in order to present a united front against Russia, we'll succeed.
But one of your ministers just said that you were taking hostage by one country concerning the package. I'm sorry that I'm going back to this question. So how will you get out of this situation being hostile?
As always, discussing, trying to understand the reasons of everybody. My role is not to blame anyone, but to try to build consensus.
How about the support for Finland and Sweden who are about to join the NATO? What kind of support Canada and EU can give those countries?
Well, not only are we in favor of accession of Finland and Sweden, but also we're in favor of quick accession. Canada shares many things in common when it comes to values and also the northern reality with Finland and Sweden. I had the chance to welcome Ann Linde 2 weeks ago in Ottawa. I had the chance to go to Helsinki. So our goal is to be amongst the first countries to be able to ratify the accession of Sweden and Finland, because we know that the interim period between the accession demand and the ratification must be shortened. Our goal also is to work with like-minded countries to make sure that also they provide for a quick accession process.
Can you give us an idea?
Let me express. Sorry.
To ratify?
How long would it take to go through the parliamentary process in Canada?
Ratification.
I've already had the chance to talk with my opposition critics. The Prime Minister is very seized of the matter, and we think that it could take days for Canada. So that's why we want to be one of the first countries to do so. And I think our goal is to also work with other countries that may have some bilateral issues. In that sense, I've been in close contact with my Turkish counterpart because at the end of the day, we need to meet this moment. This is historic, and it is way more important than any bilateral issues.
Let me stress my strong support to Sweden and Finland. Some minutes ago, I had a conversation with the Swedish minister, who was kind enough to call me to inform that the process is started, that they are going to inform the king, and that there is a strong support for this decision inside the Swedish society and the Swedish political spectrum. So I think that the European Union member states will support this decision. And I hope that we could override the opposition of some members of NATO. And also, not only Canada, today, apart from you, Mélanie, we are receiving the visit of the 6 foreign ministers of the 6 Western Balkan countries. It is a way of showing how much important is for us, the Western Balkans, how much important is the adhesion process. I had a meeting with them a couple of days ago here in Brussels. And today they will be sitting in the Foreign Affairs Council to discuss with us about the situation in the Western Balkans, very much affected by the crisis, by the economic crisis. And also we will have a conversation by video conference with the Foreign Minister of Ukraine, Mr. Kuleba. You will be also with us,
Of course.
attending this meeting and discussing with him. And in order to know which is the last situation in the ground, Ukrainians are continue resisting very fiercely, and we will continue providing them with arms to resist.
And the question Ukraine and Georgia and Moldova are waiting candidate status. What is your message for
Sorry, I didn't hear. Can you start again?
Georgians, Moldova, and also Ukraine
Yeah.
are waiting for candidate status next month? Do you think that you will have a positive answer for them?
I cannot advance what the Commission opinion will be, but we are working on it much quicker than ever.
And a question to you both. Sweden, Finland, you both say you supported quick accession. With Ukraine, it does feel the conversation never even got to that point. Is there perhaps a moment to reflect that the NATO application for Ukraine could have been handled differently?
Well, on the question of Ukraine, first and foremost, Canada has always been in favor of the open door policy. That has been the case, and we're among the first countries to ratify many of the countries now that are part of NATO and that applied to join NATO in the 90s. Now, we have been very much involved in supporting Ukrainians' negotiations and to make sure that there's a strong security mechanism. At this point, we want to continue to offer this strategic technical advice to the Ukrainian negotiators. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is through economic sanctions, through sending heavy artillery, we're strengthening Ukrainians at the negotiation table. And that's what we need to do. And therefore, in that context, we will continue to advise them.
What kind of heavy weapons will be financed for the next 500 million euros?
I couldn't tell them heavy weapons. They are the ordinary weapons that you use in an attrition war. Artillery and armored charge. The normal weapons that you use in this kind of war.
Are there any ways
Sorry, we have to leave.
to help Azovstal? I don't know if it's...
Sorry.
Thank you.